Hi, folks. Franklin Media Television. Want to share with you tonight a article from Zero Hedge in regards to cyber attacks, solar storms, EMPs. What this all equals up to is a U.S. power grid that's, in their words, extremely vulnerable, and an extended blackout is inevitable. The article goes on to say that DARPA is so concerned about the possibility of a cyber attack taking down our power grid that they held an extended exercise recreating such a scenario last year. And even though scientists tell us that it's inevitable that a solar tsunami is going to absolutely devastate our power grid at some point, our leaders in Washington really aren't doing anything to protect us against it. And this is in addition to Russia, China, North Korea, and others that have or are developing extremely advanced EMP weapons that we have zero protection against. Now, if you just look at Venezuela, you can see what a week of no power has done. I saw videos of looting, civilians essentially drinking sewage water just to get something, some water for themselves because their wells dried up. You don't have any power to run your electric wells. Guess what? No water. And as it says here, as food supplies run out, people become desperate. And desperate people, they do desperate things. Hundreds of stores were looted. The police were overwhelmed. Store owners were fending for themselves, trying to protect their belongings the best they could. Um, Unfortunately, people died. If you were in a hospital, you needed dialysis, couldn't get that machine going. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, you perished. Um, so I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention and just get you to think about planning ahead for such a event. And these guys at Zero Hedge, they're saying it's not when it's going to happen, or not if it's going to happen, but when. Um, and it's just a matter of time before something takes down our power grid, whether it's a cyber attack, an EMP, a solar storm. Our power grid's fairly aged. It hasn't really been updated, and the last thing the power companies want to do is spend money on their infrastructure because that takes away from profits, and they can't get those dividends back to the shareholders. So, they kind of kick the can down the road like everything else and doesn't get updated. So now we have aged equipment, these threats stacking up against another. And again, like we saw in Venezuela, we're not too far off. A week or two without power across the U.S., this could be big problems. So again, I just want to get your mind thinking on being prepared. I uploaded a video earlier today in regards to the top 10 items you must have to prepare for situations such as this. Obviously, you can add to it, expand on it, but these, I think, were the top 10 items that every household should have in case such a scenario arises. We hope it doesn't, but let's face it. I think China's probably has a switch already built, and they could just shut off our power. They've hacked into everything. They got their hands on everything, and we just don't know it. They have teams over there, the entire buildings of sophisticated programmers that all they do all day long, that's their job, is to hack into American infrastructure, power grids, hydro plants, the military, schools, um, private corporations. And they're just stealing our technology, and they're building their case for when they need to use it. And when they have reason to, they're going to use it, and they're going to shut down our power grid. And We have to be prepared, guys. We have to be prepared for this. And that's why I want you to start thinking about this, doing what you can, setting some stuff aside for yourself that, if our grid does go down, you can ride it out until help arrives and they get it back up and running. We're a smart country. We're a hardworking country. That's one of the best things about America. So, there's no doubt that we'll eventually fix it and things will go back up and running. But in that interim, you have to be able to survive. You have to have your family survive. You can't let things get bad because, like it says in the article, when people become desperate, they do desperate things. So check out that other video, top 10 items every prepper must have. And that's it, guys. Appreciate you watching. Have a great night.